all-time high. You're angry. All right. You don't know what the next step in your life is gonna be. Okay. Your desire decreases. Your production decreases. You stop showing up to the trainings, to the calls. You stop going to the events. You stop trading. You stop doing whatever it is that you're doing. You stop doing it. And what ends up happening is, here are the numbers: 97% of people quit at the valley of despair. 97%. So that means out of 100 people that go through the valley of despair, 97 of them quit at the valley because it gets hard down there. Think about it. You just dug yourself into a deep hole. This hole is filled with negativity, with doubt, with fear, with insecurities. And if you look up the emotional guidance scale, the lowest vibration that you could ever feel is fear, doubt, insecurity, greed. Like, these are the feelings that you're feeling when you're at the valley of despair. And what ends up happening, guys, look, let's be honest. You start to get distracted by other opportunities. There's something called SOS, shiny object syndrome. Then the next shiny object comes around. But remember, not everything that glitters is gold. They say that the grass isn't greener on the other side. What do they say? It's greener where you, and you can finish it for me. It's greener where you water it. It's greener where you water it. Everything that glitter isn't gold. So what ends up happening is, when leaders or where business owners or when employees go through the valley of despair, and a shiny object comes around that sounds good, you can make more money over here, you can do this, you can do that, it's easier to fall for it. Why? Because you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable. And I've seen so many leaders make emotional decisions that have cost them everything. They burned bridges that they'll never be able to rebuild. They ended relationships that they'll never be able to repair. Okay, they lost opportunities that they'll never be able to regain, all because they fell for the shiny object syndrome. And I share this with you guys because I don't ever want you guys to go through this. I'm in business. I have a business of thousands of people. I'm mentored by the top network marketers and the top entrepreneurs of the world. All my mentors are 8-figure earners. And I talk to them. And one of the things that they love and respect about me was that through the process, through the struggles, through the challenges, I never gave up. Like, they value that more than anything else, because they understand that only a few make it through the storm. Everybody wants to be there when it's sunny and when the rainbow's out. But who's there when it's raining, when it's storming, when it's snowing, when it's cold and nobody wants to be there? Who's there? Those are the ones you want to be with. Those are the ones you want to build a business with. Those are the ones that you want to ride to the top with. Because guess what? You were tested. And because you were tested, now you're trusted. And now that you're trusted, you're approved. People want to keep you around. People want to show you love. People want to show you the game. People ask me, Neno, how is it that you've been able to build relationships with all the top leaders and all the top entrepreneurs in the world? You know why? Because those leaders, those entrepreneurs, they don't look at the people that are doing things when everything is going good, right? Everybody's good when everything is good. Business is good, sales are good, investments are good, everything is good. Anybody could be good when things are good. The real successful people, I'm talking about the 7 and the 8-figure earners, the ones that have been through the real struggles, the real challenges of life. You know what they pay attention to? They pay attention to the individuals that stay calm during the storm, that don't allow themselves to fold when it gets hard, that don't allow themselves to get bought out by an amount of money. Man, guys, I got mentors, and if you guys don't know him, look him up. His name is Matt Rosa. His Instagram, it's Matt Rosa. That's my brother. That's my family. That's my mentor. He believed in me before I believed in myself. What kind of leader, what kind of person am I if when it gets hard, I turn my back on him? If when it gets hard, I get bought out by another leader, by another company? What kind of person, what kind of character do I have if I allow myself to be bought out with money or with a business idea and risk my relationship that I've built for years with my family? What kind of integrity is that? That's nothing. I don't mean anything. We're not perfect. He's not perfect. But you know what? I gave him my word. I said, yo, I'm here with you, bro, through the good, and I'm even there with you through the bad. If this was to all fall apart tomorrow, I'll be the first one to pick up the hammer and ask him, where do we start building again, big bro? Lead the way. I'm here. I'm not the type of person to turn on you just because things are going bad. If we really family, we ride with this together and we die with this together. And that's the kind of mentality you all need to have towards the people in your life that ride for you. Obviously, you got to find the right person, but when you find that person, ride with that person. My people ride with me. You know why? Because they know I live and die with them through this journey. They know I'm not going to quit on them. They know I could go through anything in life, and I'm here. I've been at the valley of despair where I lost all hope, where I doubted myself, but I stayed down. The last 2 years, you guys know, we talked about it on this podcast. Last time I recorded a podcast was 2022 of January. I'm recording this podcast February 2024, literally a year later. 2 years later, sorry. I'm recording this podcast 2 years later. Think about that. I was at the valley of despair for 2 years. I was down there. I lost all hope. I got offered opportunities to switch up on my people. I got offered opportunities to shiny object syndrome. But I stayed true to myself. I stayed true to my vision. I stayed true to my word. I stayed true to the things that I said we were going to do, regardless of how dark it got, regardless of how hard it got, regardless of the challenges, regardless of the people that doubted it, regardless of everything. I stayed down. If you're listening to this, stay down. Stay down until you come up. Never fold. Never quit. Never be the person that turns on the people you love over some money, over some shiny object. Never be that person. Be the person that when those hard times come, you hold your people even closer. You encourage your people even more. You speak life into your people even more. You read more books. You listen to more audios. You find a way to get through that challenge. That's what the Valley of Despair is about. Not about the 97.
Damn, that's a powerful podcast. I haven't heard that one in a long time. So to hear it right now, that was pretty good. All right, familia. Grand rising. Happy Monday. It is July 7th, and welcome back to Mornings with Nano, YouTube edition and Instagram edition. I'm live on YouTube. I'm currently live on Instagram as well. And I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to jump on today's call. I'm always very blessed and excited to start a new week because every new week is a new opportunity for us to grow. It's a new opportunity for us to elevate our mindsets, become more aware of the things that we got to do on a day-to-day basis to become better. And today's a great day. Today is a great day. Every day is a great day. And I hope everybody had a really good July 4th weekend. I had a really good July 4th weekend up in Tampa. Spent some time with family, and it was absolutely incredible to, just disconnect for a little bit, right? That's what it's all about. It's about the disconnect and making sure that, you spend time with the people that you love. And I'm always grateful for that. So super excited to be on today's call. This is going to be a good one. I hope you guys are ready. Now, before we get started, I do want to make sure that you guys understand some of the house rules that I usually like to cover on this call, right? I want to make sure that everybody knows while you guys are on this call, I usually go from anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour on these calls. So I want to make sure that you guys are plugged in for the next 45 minutes to an hour. So for the next first house rule is, turn off all devices of distractions. I know some of you guys may be driving. Some of you guys may be on the road, maybe just listening in. But if you guys can, plug in and really listen in, I think that's how you're going to get the most out of these calls. House number 2 is I highly recommend you to take notes. Taking notes, I've always learned that, note takers are money makers. But another one is your notes are your uncashed checks. So all these notes, all these things that I teach you guys, they're extremely, extremely valuable. And you do not want to miss these notes, because I'm sharing with you guys information that has changed my life. And remember, a lot of what I share with you guys is coming from not just myself, but it's coming from books, it's coming from audios, it's coming from millionaires, billionaires, and people that have taught me this information, and I'm just passing it down. So just because it comes from me, don't let it distract you from the fact that this may be coming from a higher source, as always. So that's house number 2. And then house number 3 is always listen with the intention to apply. Listen with the intention to apply. So I'm very excited. If those 3 house rules are clear with everybody, can I get a 333 in the chat really fast? Some 333s, please. I want to make sure everybody's plugged in. It's solid. Let me clean up this camera. I feel like it looks a little blurry for me. And there we go. All right. Awesome. All right, guys. So today we're going to talk about a topic that I don't think a lot of us have really heard of, but I learned it and I want to teach it to you guys, right? Which is mastering the art of nothing. It is the hidden discipline that defines your success, right? We're going to talk about mastering the art of nothing. And I'm sure some of you guys are reading this title and you're saying, wait, Nano, what do you mean mastering the art of nothing? And I want to jump into this because I want you guys to understand, right? Success isn't just about what you do. It's about what you don't do as well. So if you want to write that down, I highly recommend you to write that down, because that's a good quote to have in your notebook, right? Success isn't just about what you do. It's about what you don't do as well. So here's what I need everybody to understand. Most people think that success is all about the hustling, the taking massive actions and doing more and just being obsessed, right? People think that that's just what success is about. But what if I told you that some of the greatest breakthroughs will come in the moments when you do nothing? Let me explain. I want to explain this. This is super key. Nothing is just as important as something. Why? Because in those moments of nothing, when you're not doing nothing, you build the muscle of focus, you build the muscle of clarity, and you build the muscle of least resistance. This is the true foundation of greatness right here. So nothing is just as important as something. You see, I've taught you guys for many years that success is 90 to 99% spiritual and 1 to 10% physical. Now, I've taught you guys this in the past, and I want to just remind you guys here again so that you guys can see this from a perspective that could give you guys some understanding, right? Now, I have a PowerPoint here, and I just want to share this one slider with you guys really fast, right? Just want to share this one slide with you where I talk about the training balance scale really quick, because it'll jump right into my training. In the training balance scale here, I say 1% is physical, 99% is spiritual. But if you want to, you want to water it down a little bit, let's say 90 to 99% is spiritual, and then 1 to 10% is physical, right? Now, we're all very used to the physical work. As a matter of fact, a lot of us spend majority of our time only doing the physical work. Now, the physical work based off of what you do for work or what your career is, it could be anywhere from, phone calls, events, training, studying, meetups, one-on-ones, physical work. If you're in real estate, construction, sales, whatever it is. The physical work, now listen to this, is 1 to 10% of it. Now, when you think about that, you actually start to put things into perspective for yourself, because you're like, okay, am I spending too much time doing physical work? And this is coming from somebody that I'm a hard worker. I love doing the physical work. The physical work is everything to me. I love the phone calls. I love the events. I love trainings. I love the studying. I love the team meetups. I love the one-on-ones. I love all the physical work. And I share this with you guys because I remember my summer of 2019. Summer of 2019 was when I had the biggest breakthrough of my career. That was when I went from a broke, what I would call it, a broke entrepreneur living with his parents, to a six-figure earner who had enough money now to move out of his parents' house. And the way that I did it was I told people I hit a cap on what I could do physically. Like, I was one of the hardest workers when it came to physical work. When it came to working hard physically, I was one of those guys. I did all the phone calls. I was at all the events. I did everything. But I was forgetting one key component, which was the spiritual work. Now, what is the spiritual work? The spiritual work, all it has to do with is your thoughts. It's what you can't see, your self-image, your self-talk, the understanding of the higher faculties, imagination, and so on and so forth. This is more important than the physical, and let me explain why. Because if you're doing the physical work without the spiritual work, your work is fruitless. It will create, but there will always be a limit to what you create. Your foundation is built in the spiritual, which a lot of people really, they categorize it as nothing, the nothing. This is the work that requires not much effort, because think about it. Sitting in meditation, that's a pause. You're not really doing much. Reading, you're not really doing much physical work. Listening to a podcast and an audio, it's not much physical work. Writing down your goals, it's not much physical work. And on top of that, that kind of work doesn't create an income. Meditating doesn't create an income. Writing your goals down doesn't create income. Talking to yourself, self-talk, and doing mirror work and all that stuff, that doesn't create income. Sitting and closing your eyes and imagining your goals doesn't create income. But this is the art that you have to master, because this is what your foundation will be built on. All right. Now, let's talk about it. Let's get right into this, because it's key. Now, I'm going to talk about the 4 ways to master the art of nothing. All right. Let's talk about the 4 ways to master the art of nothing. Point number 1, there's power in the empty space. There's power in empty space. Understand that silence isn't empty. It's actually full of answers. We live in a world that glorifies busyness. Every minute is filled with scrolling, notifications, noise, phone calls, people, problems, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. But high performers intentionally create empty space, moments of stillness, moments where they can think, moments where they can reflect, moments where they can recalibrate. Those nothing moments are what separate you from the crowd. So my question for you is this: when was the last time you set time aside to spend time alone with yourself, with your thoughts, and with God? When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you sat down and for 10 minutes closed your eyes and visualized your future? When was the last time you sat down and spent time reading the Bible or reading a good book? When was the last time you sat down and you reflected on how your year has gone? See, there's power in that. You see, a lot of people in the chat, we did it this morning, today, we locked in every day. I love that. And it should be every single person on this call that said, me, 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 me. Because there's power in that empty space. My biggest breakthrough came during an empty space time. I work, and then I paused. Remember, guys, do not take this for granted. I know that a lot of us, we love the hustle. We love to wake up and get it. For my moms, I know sometimes you got to get up and you got to get right to work with the kids, and then school, and then work, and then people, and then husbands, boyfriends, and it's just nonstop sometimes. And the thing is that when you're going like that nonstop and you're not taking no time to water yourself, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to have no peace of mind. You're going to have a lack of clarity. You're going to feel stressed. You're going to feel overwhelmed because there's no time that you're spending in that empty space that is needed and it is required. Is needed and required for all of us. There's power in that. There's power in those meditations. You know how powerful my meditations are when I could just sit there in silence and I just close my eyes and I just observe my thoughts. I observe my thoughts. I observe what's going in and out of my mind. I just had this thought. And it's almost like I'm sitting there and I'm just knocking thoughts off. Nope. 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 And I'm just getting rid of them. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm just sitting in complete stillness. And you reach these points sometimes where ideas flow to you because you're thinking so clearly. You need to post this. You need to do a training on this, Nano. You need to make sure that this is set up for the team like this. And out of nowhere, you start getting ideas. Those ideas help you now put yourself in position for your physical work. I've been there before. I know how that works. I know what meditation does for me because it's my opportunity to pause, especially somebody like me. For example, if I was to show you guys my schedule for the rest of the day, you guys would be like, yo, Nano, do you have a life? The moment this call is finished, I'm on another call. Then I have a call from 11:30 to 12. Once this call finishes, I'm on a call. From 12 to 1, I have a small little break to eat lunch and so on and so forth. And then from 1 to 4, I'm on calls. I got to call everybody from the retreat. Everybody that signed up for the retreat, I'm making phone calls today. At 4 o'clock, I have a private one-on-one presentation. At 5 o'clock, I have another private one-on-one presentation. At 6 o'clock, I have our leadership call. At 7 o'clock, I have another presentation. At 8 o'clock is our team training. At 9 o'clock, I have another one-on-one presentation. For the rest of the day, I'm slammed all day today. All physical work. But guess what? I woke up this morning, 7 a.m. And from 7 a.m. to like about 9 a.m., I did some of my work. I did some meditation and visualization. I was able to read some of the Bible. I read a good amount of my new book that I'm reading right now, which is Influence. I wrote my goals down. I went to the sauna. I got a nice little workout and sauna session while listening to an audio. I feel good. I spent time in silence. I spent time working on me. So valuable to pour into your cup. You see, now I'm ready to go pour into others. You know why? Because I poured into myself first. So there's power in that empty space. Don't miss that. Do not miss your empty space, guys. That may be the work that is missing to get you to the next level. I wrote it down in my Instagram this morning. I said, the magic you're looking for is in the work that you're avoiding. Somebody said here on Instagram, when you pray, God listens. When you meditate, God answers. That's facts. That's big, big facts right there. Prayer in the morning is so key. Some of us, we're not spending enough time doing this. This is key. Remember, these calls are personal development calls. These calls are for me to remind you how important it is for you to work on yourself. So, number one is there's power in the empty space. Number two, energy is finite, protected like gold. We got to remember this. Let me get you guys. Here's what I want you guys. I got you right now. Hold up. Let me reword this. Okay, here you go. So, energy is finite. Finite. Energy is finite. What does that mean? It means that it has limits, it has bounds. So, protected like gold. Let's talk about this really quick because this is key. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they waste energy on unnecessary things. So let me explain this. We don't have unlimited energy every day. As you guys know, our energy is very limited throughout the day. You got to learn how to use it wisely. You got to learn how to use it wisely. So you got to protect your energy like gold. Understand this, every yes to a distraction is a no to your dreams. Every yes to a distraction is a no to your dreams. So every time you say yes to scrolling on social media, every time you say yes to going out for a drink, every time you say yes to smoking, every time you say yes to anything that's going to distract you is a no to your dreams. This is important that we understand this. And here's the question I want you to ask yourself. Are you saying more yeses to your distractions? Or are you saying more no to your dreams? Is there more yes to your distractions or there's more no to your dreams? We got to be honest with ourselves. Because instead of us spending time distracted, why don't we spend more time on our dreams? You know, the other day I was having a conversation with my brother AWOL. He was basically saying, he was like, bro, he said, we cannot afford wasted time. He said, every minute should count. He said, we don't have time to scroll. We don't have time to spend. He said, every hour should be working towards our dreams in some kind of way, shape, or form. We don't have time to spend on social media all day, every day. We don't have time to be distracted. We don't have that time. We don't have that luxury. We gotta become aware of this stuff. Elite performers, they master the art of saying no to the things that aren't going to bring them value. Do you consider yourself an elite performer? Someone who has mastered the art of saying no to the scrolling, who says no to the toxic friends, who says no to the bottle, who says no to the smoke, who says no to the girls, who says no to the boys, who says no to the things that aren't bringing you any value. Have you mastered that art yet? Because that's what elite performers do. They master the art of saying no. And it's not out of arrogance, but out of respect for their future. Because the future you is waiting for you to step up. Limit the distractions. One of my favorite quotes is starve your distractions, feed your focus. Starve your distractions, feed your focus. Your energy is like gold. Directed towards the things that are going to help you build your future. Direct that energy towards building that business, towards that book, towards that prayer, towards that visualization, towards those phone calls. Why did you think I had to make sure that I was up early today? Had to make sure I was up in the gym, reading my book, doing my meditation, visualization. Why do you think I had to do all those things? Because the moment I finish this call, I'm on calls for the rest of the day that require my full energy. I can't go into this day, a 10, 12-hour day, without no energy. I won't make it. I can't go into this day without my mind in the right state of mind, because guess what? It's not going to work out for me. So here's what I want you guys to ask yourself really quick. And I want you guys to truly answer this question. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis that's stealing your energy? I want you to write it down in your notebook, in your notes, wherever it is, and I want you to make yourself aware of it. What is stealing your energy on a day-to-day? Is it your phone? Is it Instagram? Is it a girlfriend, a boyfriend? Is it friends? Is it families? Is it drinks? Is it video games? What is it? What is stealing your most valuable energy that is like gold? What is stealing it? My guy on Instagram said his girlfriend. We got to identify what the biggest distractions are, because those distractions are the ones that are holding you back from your biggest goals. What is it? Become aware of it. Write them down. Yo, this. Remember, you don't got to post it in the chat. Just become aware. Awareness is so key. And identify those biggest distractions and build systems now to eliminate them. Eliminate them. Let's get rid of them. Instead of spending so much time scrolling, let's spend time building. Instead of spending time reading comments, let's read books. Instead of spending time talking to boys and girls, let's spend time building our businesses and talking to prospects that want to learn more about what we want to do. Instead of spending time eating out, smoking and drinking, let's spend time eating healthy, drinking green juices, and bettering our health. Why don't we replace our habits with the things that are going to help us become the version of ourselves that we want to become? This is so key and important. This is so key and important. You know the heaviest weight that we all have to carry? Let me give you guys something that's going to wake all of you up real quick. You know the heaviest weight every single one of us have to carry? The heaviest weight we all have to carry is the knowing that we could be better than we currently are right now, but we're currently not doing the work to get there. It's one of the heaviest weights we have to carry. The knowing that we know we can be so much better than we are right now, but we're currently not doing the work to get there. That's the heaviest weight that most people carry right now. Knowing they could do better, but they're not. Put a 2 in the chat if you guys can agree with that, because that's a heavy weight that I've had to carry as well. That's a heavy weight to carry, knowing you could be so much better, knowing you could be so much more disciplined, knowing you could be so much better, so much more disciplined, so much more consistent, knowing you could be so much more, but you're not doing the work to be that individual. That weight, it destroys you, it eats you up. It destroys us, it eats us up. We have to get rid of that weight. We have to get rid of that weight. We have to know that we can be better, and we need to be working towards being better every single day. That's the goal. And that goes for the 100+ people we have on today's call. So point number 2 is energy is finite, protected like gold. What's point number 3? Discipline is built in the void. Discipline is built in the void. Nano, what do you mean? Discipline is doing what you need to do even when no one is watching. In the moments of nothing, you build the strongest discipline. When you're alone, there's no applause, there's no dopamine hits, there's no one watching, nothing. That's when you train your mind to stay on course. Why you think I'm so big on morning routine, guys? You think I'm big on morning routines because it's popular and stuff like that. Guys, I've been doing morning routines since 2018. Morning routines just became popular recently because of Ashton Hall. Ashton Hall made morning routines popular, but I've been doing morning routines for years. But if you pay attention, think about it. He just took what he was doing for years himself and he made it public now. Those 4:30, 5 a.m. wake-ups, those gym sessions, that Bible study, the reading of the books, the journaling, everything that I tell people to do, that I've been telling people to do for the last 7 years, he just put a visual behind it and went viral because of it. Think about that. If you really watch his routine, is except for the ice and the water, but the things that he does, like the Bible study, the reading books, the writing his goals down in his journals, the meditation sessions, the gym sessions, the sauna, everything he talks about and does and went viral for. I've been telling people to do that for years. The importance of waking up early and working on yourself. Everything that he used to become a very successful entrepreneur and went viral for, and now gets all the stuff. I've been telling you guys, I've been giving you guys the sauce year after year, day after day, week after week, month after month. But like I said, discipline is built in the void. That's why they say you get celebrated in public for what you do in private. You know why Ashton gets celebrated in public today? For all those years he practiced in private when nobody was watching. All those years of early mornings when no one was watching, when there was no applause, no dopamine hits. He was alone. No one was there. That's how it works. That's when it matters, guys. When no one's watching, when everyone is sleeping. I'll never forget one of my mentors told me, he said the average person wakes up at 8 a.m. He said by that time, the energy in the world is already clouded. You don't want to wake up at 8 a.m. He says you want to wake up when the energy is clean in the air. When the energy of the world is clean. You know what time that is? 5, 6 a.m. He said, are you average? I'm like, no. He's like, so don't wake up at 8 a.m. That's average wake up time. You want to be up when nobody's up. You want to be up before the sun. And you want to be putting in that work in yourself. All right? You want to be putting in the work when no one's watching, when there's no one, while everyone is sleeping. That's the work that matters. That's what builds you up. That's what builds you up. And it's not about you showing off that you're waking up early. That's not what it's about. It's about you doing it for you. Queen B, I'm on day 50 waking up at 6 a.m. Sheesh, Queen B, shout out to you. That's what I'm talking about, sis. That's what it's about right there. 50 days waking up at 6 a.m. is not easy. I can tell you that right now. It's not easy. 50 days straight is not easy. But guess what? That's going to lead to a lot of breakthroughs. And don't stop, Queen B. Keep going. Keep going until the breakthrough happens. It may happen on day 60. It may happen on day 100. Guess what? You may have to do another 100 days before the breakthrough comes. You may have to do another 100 days before the breakthrough comes. Just do it until. And you don't need, look, she didn't even need the applause. She don't need just keep putting in the work. That's where the discipline is built. Is in those moments right there, in the moments when no one's watching. We have to start falling in love with that. We have to start finding a desire, an obsession in that work, because that's the key. That's really the key. Spend more time in that meditation. Spend more time in those reading of the books. Spend more time in those journal sessions. When was the last time you sat down with yourself and journaled your dream life? I'm actually going to do a challenge for myself. One of my mentors challenged me. He said, "Nano, I want you to make a list of 100 things you want to do before you're 40 years old." I'm like, I like that list. He said, "I want you to check it off as you go." He said, "Make a list of 100 things you want to accomplish or you want to do before you're 40. I'm 31, so I got 9 years. 100 things I want to do before I'm 40. I already started. I already thought about them, thought a couple of things I want to do. 100 things, that's a lot, but I already know a lot of the things I want to do, a lot of the places I want to travel, things I want to do, sports I want to learn, languages I want to learn, money I want to make, cars I want to buy, this. Like, there's just so much things I want to do before I'm 40. I've done paragliding. Paragliding is fun. Paragliding is fun. Very fun, actually. But these are the things that it's all about, though. It's about spending time with you. Spending time with you guys. Please do not miss that opportunity, especially in the summer. Because the summer is the season of the most distraction, the time when the energy is the most out there. It's the cloudiest energy you'll get all year. It's the summer. Take this time to grow yourself. Take this time to pour into yourself. Take this time to do the work that everyone else is avoiding, because that's the key. So that's point number 3. Discipline is built in the void. All right. And then point number 4, create your nothing ritual. That's all you got to do now. What is going to be your nothing ritual? Because instead of seeing nothing as unproductive, see it as sacred. Create a daily and weekly ritual where you disconnect, you reflect, and you align. What does your nothing ritual look like? What does your morning routine look like? Your morning ritual look like? Create it and stick to it. And remember, the only way that it works is if you stay consistent with it every single day at the same time, doing the same actions every single day consistently over a long period of time. It's the only way it's going to work. Only way. Every day. What's going to be the time you wake up? What's going to be the time that you read? What's going to be the time that you meditate? What's going to be the time that you journal? What's going to be the time that you do everything consistently every day at the same time? I remember mine. When I was living at my parents' house, I remember it was 5:55 wake up. All right. By 6:15, I was already meditating. I would meditate 10, 15 minutes. By 6:30, I was reading my book. All right. By 7 a.m., because I would read for 30 minutes, by 7 a.m., I was journaling. I would usually journal for about 15, 20 minutes. I would journal, boom, boom, boom. But usually by 7:30, I was working out. I would work out for about 45 minutes. Then by 8, I would say 8:15, 8:30-ish, I would be on my way back home. I would shower. I would have some breakfast, and I would get ready to do my call. That was my routine every single day. It was on point. I couldn't slip because then it would mess up everything else. So I had to be up at 5:55. I had to be meditating by 6:15. I had to be reading by this time, journaling by this time, working out by this. I'm actually excited to go home. I'm actually going to New York on Wednesday. I'm excited to go home so I could be able to go back to the park that it all started in, so I could go back to doing that routine again. because I know how important that ritual is. And a lot of people would look at it like, yo, you're not doing nothing, but you're doing so much. You're doing so much in that routine. Can we use our rhythm registers as our ritual? Or should we create something more intentional? No, use the rhythm registers. The rhythm registers are the key, because that's what kept me accountable, because I would check them off every day. That's what I did. I would do my ritual and then I would check them off every single day. That's the key. These right here, if you're not using these, I would highly recommend that you do, because they're so important. This right here, so key. I wish more people use these, honestly. Doesn't let me edit this one right here. Usually. But yeah, what I would do is, I would start. Mine was always at the top. It was always gratitude and prayer. Then it was read my goal card. I had my goal card here. Then after reading my goal card, I would do meditation / visualizations. Then I would do reading. Then journaling. Then I would put listen to audio. Then gym. If you want to add a Bible study in there, Bible study. And for the most part, majority of my weekly rhythm register was just a lot of the actions that I took for my morning ritual, which was the most important thing to me. Then the rest of everything was filled in with social media posts, this, whatever, boom, boom. But I would say more than half of this rhythm register in terms of like actions I had to take was filled with my morning ritual. I would fill this up and then I would check it off. And I would see where my discrepancies were in my game. I'm telling you right now, this weekly rhythm register was the accountability partner that took me to 6 figures. This was my accountability partner to 6 figures right here. This blew me up, because remember, a lot of us, we don't have accountability partners. We don't have nobody to check us. We don't have nobody to remind us what we need to do. We don't have nobody to tell us, hey, you're slipping up here, you're slipping up there. You know what that weekly rhythm register does? It does that for you. I would see the areas where I was slipping, and I would see the areas where I was strong at. I used to see it. I would look back at the end of the week and I'd be like, sheesh, you slipped up on the gym this week. You slipped up on meditation this week. There's some of you guys on this call right now that you don't even know what you slipped on last week. So guess what? You're going to slip on it again this week. It happens. I've always told people, if you're not aware of what you're doing, if you're not aware of what you're not doing, understand that you cannot track. Wait, how does the saying goes? You can't track. Yeah, you can't track what you don't measure. So if you're not tracking it, then it's going to be tough. Majority of the time, what happens is, if you slip up for a week, then you slip up for a month. You slip up for a month, you slip up for a quarter, you slip up for a quarter, you could slip up for a whole half, and potentially lead to a year of slipping up. Because I've slipped up for a whole year. Would you believe it if I told you guys that I slipped up for a whole year of my morning routine? It has happened to me. I didn't track it that year. I was lost in the sauce. I've slipped up bad. I've slipped up on my morning routine. I've slipped up on Bible studies. I've slipped up on journaling. I've slipped up on what am I gonna say? On meditations. I've slipped up on that stuff many times. And guess what, Clem? You see what Clem said in the chat? He said, imagine making the same mistakes week after week. Insane, right? I've done that. I've been there. I've been there where I know I should be doing something week after week, and week after week, I still don't do it. I know I should be reading and I still don't read. I know I should be, and I still don't do it. You know where it came from? Lack of me holding myself accountable and lack of awareness. Some of you right now on this call, you know you're slipping up on certain things and you're still not making the change. You know you should be reading more and you're still not reading. You know you should be journaling more and you're still not journaling. You've heard me say this 1,000 times and you still haven't made the shift. Guys, let's wake up. It's halfway through the year. What got you back on track, if I may ask? That's a great question, Anaya. The disgust of myself got me back on track. You know, when you get to the point where you're disgusted with yourself because you know how long you've been slipping up for, that's what got me back on track. Knowing that, yo, I've been slipping up for way too long. Is the feeling of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, Nano, you're supposed to be the example, bro. You know, like, you just realize, like, sheesh, bro, all these months, and you just sit there and you're like, yo, man. Like, for example, luckily, I don't feel like that about anything currently. I would say the only thing that I maybe feel a little bit towards that right now is maybe waking up earlier about myself. Like halfway through the year, I'm like, I just wish I would have woken up just a little bit earlier. I've woken up early, but not as early as I would want to. So I don't feel any specific kind of way right now. But I've been in times where, let's say I reach July and I'm like, yo, Nino, you haven't even read this year, bro. Like, you haven't even read a book this year. That's disgusting, bro. Like, that's bad. You haven't read one book this year. I've had years like that. I've opened up my journal. I'll grab my journal and I'll look at my journal entries. And since I put dates on my journal entry, I'll be like, damn, Nano, the last time you journaled was 4 months ago. Seriously, bro? Like, you don't have 5-10 minutes to journal, write your goals down? That's disgusting, bro. That's terrible. For somebody who claims that they want to be successful, for somebody who claims that they want to retire their families, bro, that's completely unacceptable from you, Nano. Like, but these are the conversations I'm having with myself as I'm recognizing these things. Yo, Nano, it's been 3 months since you picked up the Bible. Your Bible's collecting dust in your office. You claim you want to grow a close relationship with God, but your Bible's collecting dust in your office. Disgusting, bro. I've been there. So I'm here to tell you guys, if you're there right now, wake up. That stuff is not going to help you. The faster you realize that you're slipping up and the faster you make the shift is the better it's going to be for you. Because if not, another day will turn into a week will turn into a month will turn into a quarter will turn into a year. That's how it happens. It has happened to me. Don't slip up anymore. Just and look, yes, you're going to have to pay off a lot of spiritual debt. Let me tell you right now, but start paying it off now. Because here's what a lot of people don't understand. Every time you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you collect something called spiritual debt. Because here's what spiritual debt is. When you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to do this, and you don't do it, deep down inside, even though other people may not know, you know. So that guiltiness that you feel, that shame that you feel, remember, it's an emotion. So it goes inside. It's inside of you now. It destroys your self-image as a person, as an individual. It starts to take away at it. So every time you say, hey, I'm going to start waking up early and I'm going to be in the gym and I'm going to do this, and you don't do it, that shame, that guilt that you feel, it starts to become spiritual debt. And this is why, look at what happens to people, because I've been there as well. This is why you see people that then they get back to doing the routine. They'll do it for a week and they're like, damn, I did it for a whole week, but nothing changed. I mean, dude, you only paid off a week of spiritual debt when you have months of spiritual debt. How do you expect anything to change? So then they stop again because they did it for a week and nothing changed. I remember doing this. I remember paying off months of spiritual debt. Nothing changed. And then finally, thank God I did it that one more month. Imagine this. I remember that year like it was yesterday. I remember doing 90 days of grinding spiritual work, doing the morning meditations, the reading, the journaling, the gym sessions for 90 days straight, on point, no slip ups. And my income stayed the exact same. And I remember being frustrated as can be, like, yo, bro, I've been doing this routine for 90 days, 3 months straight. Nothing has changed. This is crazy. I feel great, though. I'm stronger. I'm learning a lot, but my income is still the same, bro. My team is still about the same size. But thank God that 4th month came around. Thank God I didn't stop. Because that 4th month, everything just blew up. You know what that meant? I paid off all my spiritual debt. And now I was in the positives again. Think about it. If your bank account went negative $300, $400, before you can see positive, you have to pay off that negative $400, $500, whatever it is. Some of you guys have negative spiritual bank accounts right now. And that's the truth. Spiritual bank accounts that need to get paid. As a matter of fact, some of us, to keep it real with y'all, some of us may need to spend the rest of the summer paying off our spiritual debt so that we can receive some of our blessings in the fall. That may be the reality for some people on this call. And that's the reality of the situation. Some of us are already in the positives and we good. Every action we take is creating. We're creating. Everybody's in different situations. There's people that are paying off spiritual debt. There's people that are adding on to their collection and creating because they're in good spirits. They've been working all year. They've been doing the work. They've been waking up early. They've been staying disciplined. They've been consistent. Those get to work more. But you know what we all need to do, including myself? We need to master the art of nothing. So those are the 4 ways that you master the art of nothing. Number 1 is there's power in the empty space. Number 2 is energy is finite, protected like gold. Finite means there's limits. Number 3 is discipline is built in the void. And then number 4 is create your nothing ritual. Create that nothing ritual and let's get to work, fam. So put a 444 if you guys got value and awareness from today's call. And if you're in a situation right now where you know you need to wake up more and you need to do more, then let's get to it. Let's do whatever it takes to make that happen. Create your nothing ritual. Get off this call. I'm going to end this call right here in the next 60 seconds. Get off this call and create your ritual. If you haven't done your work, do your work today. It's still early. Do the work today. Spend time alone today. Set aside some time from now. Find 10, 15, 30 minutes in your day where you're just going to spend time in silence, in a meditation. You're going to work on you. And I promise you, things will start to change for you. One day at a time. Pronounce finite. Finite. Okay, so it's finite. It's important. Just the call I've been needing and wanting. I'm glad, Ruby. I'm glad it helped. It's important that you guys understand this. All right, guys. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your days. Let's have a phenomenal, productive day. And tomorrow when you wake up, please remember, spend time doing the nothing that people talk about. The nothing, which is that silent work. I'm telling you, it's going to make all the difference. Make sure that you guys are following me on Instagram at Long Live Nano. Follow the family Instagram as well, which is the Mornings with Nano page. There's going to be a lot more content being posted on there. Today, if you filled out an application for the solstice retreat, I'm going to be reaching out today. I'm going to be reaching out today all week. I'm going to be finalizing and basically filling up all the spots. All right. So most of you who signed up for it will be receiving a phone call or a text message from me this week so we can talk. We can get you guys qualified, and then from there we'll take it one step at a time. If you guys have not joined the Telegram chat, Jasmine, our sister, just dropped it in the chat so that you can get up to date on all the updates and the announcements. Even if you plan on not going to the first one, still join the chat so that way you are up to date on everything, and you can also get access to the second one, because once we sell out this one, we're going to start working on the next one for 2026 immediately right after, because we have so many people that want to go to the first one that we're not going to be able to accommodate everybody. So because we're not going to be able to accommodate everybody, we're going to start setting up the one for 2026 immediately right after. All right, guys. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your days. Make sure you guys follow the Instagrams, join the Telegram chats. I'm going to do a quick prayer for us, and then we're going to wrap it up right there. Quick prayer. Father God, just want to say thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Monday morning. We are excited for the week ahead because we are aware of the things that we need to work on. We are aware of the things that we should not be doing, that is stealing our time, that is stealing our energy, and is stealing ourselves from the discipline that we need to focus on, which is making sure that we put you first, Father, that we put ourselves first, and that we understand that pouring into ourselves before we go and pour into the world is a top priority. So we are so excited for this week, God, because we know that this week is going to be filled with breakthroughs, it's going to be filled with new beginnings, and it's going to be filled with nothing but abundance that comes from you, my Father. So thank you for your forgiveness. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for creating a community that we can all grow and become better versions of ourselves. And just thank you for leading the way for us in every single season of our lives. We love you and we appreciate you. Everything we do is for your praise and for your glory. And in your name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. All right. I like that idea. I'm 30. All right, fam. God bless you guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Let me get ready to start my calls here, and let's be productive. Let's spend time doing the nothing, because the nothing is the one that changes everything for us. God bless, and I'll see you guys on the next call tomorrow, same time. Thank you, fam.